What's up, everyone? This is Elias, and I'm here with
Iberis.
And John. We got him back, ladies and gentlemen.
yeah, I'm back. It's to the No Sabo podcast. How was your guys' last week?
It was good. Yeah, huh?
Good.
Pretty chill.
What'd y'all talk about?
What did we talk about?
We talked about creating videos and content.
Oh, yeah.
That's
Nice.
pretty much what it was.
Yeah,
I took over the show.
Yeah.
I gotta watch. I'm behind an episode. I didn't watch it last week, so
That's messed up.
yeah,
Yeah.
that's my bad. I had a sty last week.
You do
In my
still
eye.
have your
I know, and I was gonna
sty.
say I thought I was feeling good, looking good, and then Race is like, "Damn, what's in your eye?" I was like, "Shit."
I was like, he's got eye herpes.
I heard bees, and then we got told a story that I wish I never heard, but it made me hungry. So, y'all got Jolly Ranchers? Let me know.
Gross.
Send them my way.
Ugh.
I thought you were going to say,
Disgusting.
if you got gonorrhea, give me a call.
Oh no, I'm okay
That's
without
disgusting.
that. Already got me a pair of that, so I don't need.
Ew,
No, I'm just kidding. I'm just
what?
kidding. Just kidding.
Damn.
I'm just kidding, y'all. But damn, that really was a gross story, by the
It
way.
was hella gross.
Yeah.
If you guys don't know, just search the Jolly Rancher story on Reddit.
Oh, boy. Dude, I hate going on TikTok and seeing the Reddit stories because,
Oh, man.
for a while they were good because you click on the page and then it had the whole story. But now they have them numbered, like Reddit story number 00, whatever it is. And then there's no continuation. They
Well,
start
it's
with the new
because
one.
there's all these pages that are just doing little clips.
Yeah.
They don't follow the
story.
I
and
know.
That pisses me off. There was a while that I was going to get into that, making clips on Reddit stories, but then I started using like AI and then I just gave up. It was like, it would give me some dumb story. And then like it's AI is not 100% there.
Right.
Have you guys seen the Yeti trend? Like that
Oh, yes. But it's not just Yeti. They
It's
do. Oh,
the
my
ape
gosh. The
Gorillas. Yeah.
the
cartel
religious
one?
ones are out of pocket. But then they got Star Wars ones. Those ones are my favorite. Like the Stormtrooper ones. Those ones are my favorite.
Yeah.
But they got the ones where it's like Mary. She's like, hey, guys. I'm on my way to have birth.
She's vlogging.
They're all like vlogging style, yeah.
I've seen some of the Sasquatch. Yeah.
There's some
ones.
cartel
Oh,
ones.
yeah.
I saw it.
There's like monkey ones or like gorilla ones.
Yeah.
There's the Yeti ones. Yeah, there's a whole bunch. I saw one from Judas.
I'm gonna bleep it out, but
Photoshopped a little bit.
Damn. Pointing out my
what's going
style.
on?
There's a
picture?
filter on it.
Shout out to Maz Studios for making me look.
See or no?
She does not look
Making me
like that.
look. Shout out to Maz.
Show everybody.
But I mean, if you put it on a sign and you're driving like 40, you don't tell the difference.
I wouldn't put my photo on a sign.
Really?
Yeah, I haven't put
I'm trying
mine.
to sell houses, not scare people away. You know, I don't want random single ladies showing up to the house thinking, just taking pictures of my photo. You know what I mean?
Swears.
Yeah.
I'm gonna ask my wife because it's Juneteenth, so she doesn't work.
Yeah.
I don't know why, but she doesn't work, and I'm gonna ask her if she can log into my computer, and actually that's her. I'm gonna see if she can send me the video because I downloaded one. Take it away.
Take it away.
Take it away.
What are you doing?
Damn. When did you get your headshots done last?
The ones that I've been using is from when we did that that photo shoot up downtown or
Yeah.
whatever. So I think that must have been like 3-4 years ago.
I gotta do something soon. Maybe.
I have done some since, but I didn't like them.
Yeah.
But I've been talking to my friend Carla. She's an agent too. And I was telling her, she just became an agent not too long ago. And then I was like, we should put together something where we can do like headshots
Yeah.
and like just open it up to agents and stuff.
Yeah.
So, because she's a photographer, so she knows some other
Yeah.
photographers. And so we're kind of talking about doing that.
Yeah. That'd be good. I gotta get mine updated. I do a lot of videos all the time, but photos I don't really. I just hate photos in
Yeah.
general. I wish I could just snap, do that. Maybe I'll try an AI service.
Try the AI thing
Yeah.
and see.
Like, give me some muscles and a six pack,
Oh my god.
and then we'll call it good. False advertising right there. So, what's John doing?
I'm walking her through for this video. Like, this is awesome, guys. Like, and then look, Magnum Media.
John was nervous.
This is worth.
when
This
he
is
sat
definitely
down.
worth. Oh, my daughter's talking. I don't know what she's saying, but I'm trying to get her to airdrop me the clip that I downloaded last night. Go to VO3 or Google, VO3.
Can I airdrop to you if you're not near it?
She can text it to me.
Oh, okay.
Through my own computer.
Yeah.
Yeah, the top one. It's actually really cool because like so you make a prompt and it's like specific, even like the camera quality, the camera angle, the lighting, the tones. Yeah.
You've seen them though, right? Those POV videos or no?
I don't know if I think I saw one yesterday that was like
Should we have the screen?
I think it was a Sasquatch that was dating a man or a monkey.
What
That
the-
was like, it was a woman that had a man. And yeah, I don't know. It was weird. It was weird. That's wild. I've been dancing in my videos. I can't have AI replace that. Yeah, I can't duplicate these.
Yes, you can. You haven't seen some of the.
Yeah, I can't duplicate these moves, man. I'm like Usher / Chris Brown.
Have you seen the ones where it's like upload a picture and let AI determine what happens? All of them, they turn upside down and they're like, "Sabe co-"
Oh no.
Yeah. So yeah, it can't be done.
It can.
Yeah,
But your moves are unique.
they're hard to duplicate. Yeah, I was gonna be on Step Up, the movie, once, but they said I was too good.
You're like, you're gonna have to step
Right.
down.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like step down, sir. I was like, all right, I hear you. Yeah, they were intimidated. So, but
Dang.
I'm still recovering from an injury. I got a little trying to do the worm
Oh my god.
on hot asphalt.
Did you see that video?
Yeah, I saw it.
I got like 50K views. That was crazy.
Doing a seizure.
Yeah, that's what it looked like. I looked like a dead fish that just jumped out of the water trying to do the worm.
I mean,
But-
it worked.
Yeah,
Well,
it is what it is. This next one I'm a little nervous about.
that was a little more intense.
Yeah,
He was sweating.
Really?
yeah. And I was wearing shorts and a polo, so I probably looked
Fit.
like a straight up dad.
Were they jorts?
No, that was surprisingly they weren't jorts. Even though I've seen you in jorts, I feel.
I had a pair, donated them.
I
Yeah,
feel like you wore it last year. He wore a pair of jorts last year, didn't he?
I mean, he's worn shorts like when we've gone golfing, I feel. No?
I'm a pants guy when I golf.
Damn. When did we see him in shorts then?
I swear there were jorts too.
I remember the first time Kelly.
Maybe he just gives off George vibes, you know?
Fair enough.
Yeah, I did buy jorts and an American flag tank top for the 4th of
God.
July.
Oh my
I'm gonna
god.
have to do that again.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
That does scream American.
Yeah,
I would even
Speaking of.
confuse you.
What was that?
I would even confuse you for an American.
yeah. But
Well, this just got tense.
Yeah.
shit.
Yeah.
John's been tense. I think that's why he's been like on the phone, like trying to get distractions.
Avoiding.
He's nervous. He's got goosebumps.
What's up, guys?
Yeah. So
How you feeling?
I'm gonna sit this one out. You guys go.
Oh, damn. You were the one who did research. You told me you like.
Yeah.
You did
I
research?
studied and
What
shit.
happened?
Hours. I just prepared myself, but I decided just to sit back. I white flagged this one. Elias,
Damn.
take it away one more time.
I don't even know what.
Well-
Did y'all dive into it last week a little bit?
No, I mean, I kind of had brought it up like, oh, let's talk about it. But Noel was also being a little scary, but and this one too. Like, they didn't want to touch on it.
I didn't know enough about it.
But
After
what's-
we stopped recording, then we did kind of talk a little bit about it. And I could tell John was uncomfortable.
Damn.
I just don't like talking about this stuff. Well, I mean, I don't mind it, but it's not my cup of tea. Like, I will talk about cameras all day,
Yeah.
and I'll debate you about cameras, just because I know more about it.
Right.
But
Yeah.
not
That's
politics.
that. Well, that's the problem is that people need to start knowing and educating themselves in what is going on instead of just being ignorant to it and being like, I don't know, no say, whatever, you know?
No sabo. Yeah. What specifically? What are y'all talking about or what?
I guess just like current events,
Yeah.
like because like last week is where the raids happen in LA.
Yeah.
And Noel was talking about that, like he did feel passionate. I feel like he felt passionate about it, right? Like he was talking about how they went about it wasn't right, which I agree. You know, I don't know how you feel about it. How they like went over the governor and sent in the military.
Yeah.
Porque según they were doing, what is it called?
Property damage.
Yeah, and all that. But like, all of that kind of started more so when they got there, I feel.
Yeah.
Because I mean, like, at least from what I can see, like, you know, yes, we have different feeds and stuff, but like, I also saw feeds where like people were just like chanting, dancing, having full on like concerts almost in downtown and stuff. And then, then you see also the side where like, you know, the military's there and they're pushing people back and they're screaming at people and da da da, you know, and so we were talking about that. But
I think there's a lot of narratives that try to get pushed, and I would hope that both sides are smart enough to know that, like, because I remember, so I was following it on X a little bit, and there was a lot of like reporters and people saying like, hey, it's really not this bad, like it's not that, the whole thing isn't this violent uprising, but there's going to be certain media channels that are going to paint it one way. There's going to be, you know, I feel like, you know, maybe a right-wing type of news station is going to make it seem like they're taking over the country.
Yeah.
You know, I think the left-wing side is going to be like, oh, they're getting beat and tear gassed by all these people, where I think there's truth, and the truth was somewhere in the middle, because there were some places that it seemed like it was peaceful, right? And I think the one thing it did, the one good thing is like it brought awareness. I think it was in the forefront, you know? I think it's good when people express their First Amendment rights. I think it sucks, and it's on both sides, right? Like there's the ones that cross the line and start like breaking laws and making it look bad for everybody else.
Yeah.
And then there's those that are overly aggressive, whether it's like the people that are there to agitate and protest against the protesters that kind of help turn things violent.
Yeah.
And then there are those overly aggressive, whether they're members of ICE or the police, that just get over aggressive, and then they almost incite more of the violence and uprising.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But yeah, I was kind of following along with that. There was a lot. I have a family member that's right now out in the Middle East, and it's getting kind of scary right now over there too. So there's just a lot of.
Are they in the military, like out there? They're deployed?
Yeah. So.
What are they seeing or what?
It's just getting just intense. They're spending a lot of times like, you know, the alarms going off to hide in your bunkers, not sleeping much. There's just, you know, they're in the, I guess, the hot zone, and it's worrisome. And sometimes we forget that there's people out there right now doing that stuff. I think I saw a video where they interviewed a Marine that was a part of the protest that was, you know, kind of saying like, you know, his service in the military was his parents' pathway, because they came in here undocumented, and it was their pathway for them to be legalized. And he said it's hard because he sees Mexicans currently in the Marines that are out there with ICE, that are out there. But he said like he understands, because when you're working for them or when you're working with the government, you can't go against them. You know, he's like, my time's out, so I'm here.
Right.
But if I was here, if I was there, I would probably have to be right there too, you know.
Which sucks, because too, like I've also seen stories of like people that have joined the military to help their families get documented, but that's not helping them right now. Yeah. So it's like they feel like they're being betrayed, you know, because it's like, okay, well, the country told me that if I give my time, give myself to my country, then my country will help me in helping my family be here the right way. But that's
I don't think
not
that's
happening.
how it works, actually, because I have a cousin that was in the military, and I don't think they promise you anything for your families.
I think it depends. I think
don't think it works,
I think
like,
que te dicen lo que quieres this, like what they tell you what you want to hear.
But that's not how it works, though, because like, how are they going to promise your family? Why are you going in? Then you could apply for your family if you're legal. Like they only like I don't even know if they do it anymore. But like my cousin, he went in for the sole purpose to get papers, not to help his family, because they.
So he went in so he could get papers.
Yeah.
And did he?
Yeah, and he got all the benefits of being in the military. You know,
Right.
the VA loans, his school paid. Well, what is it called for the school?
I'm not sure.
I forgot what it's called, but he got his schooling paid for. Like that's literally, I guess you could say, the American dream.
Yeah.
They gave him everything. That's why I don't believe when people say, "Oh, they don't," because it like going back the 1%. Yeah, it may happen, but I have a first-hand case that it did work. You know, they promised him that they were gonna help him become a U.S. citizen or a resident at the time, and it worked.
Yeah.
So that's why, like, I don't think it works like with the promising of the family, because that's not how it works.
Yeah.
So yeah, but
I don't know. But I think for me, in general, the military, I would never, like, if one of my sons were to be like, oh, I want to join, I'd be like, no. Or I would talk to them about it and see, like, okay, why? But that is not something that I would be pro. Because I think that any branch, no matter which branch you look at, because, you know, then you can go into like, oh, well, this branch or that branch or da-da-da, whatever. But I feel like it does more harm than good to a person. Like, for instance, your cousin that's out there, like, they don't come back, right? You know, we have a cousin, like, on Michael's side of the family. He was a Marine, and he ain't all there. Like, he acts like he's, you know, hella smart, and ponle que sí, like, he has some smarts or whatever. He came back, and he did go to school for a little bit. I think he did get his bachelor's, but, like, when you're around him, like, you can tell que no está bien, like, mentally.
Yeah.
So it's like, I don't think it's worth it. Not just that, but, like, who knows what's going to happen to you out there? You're just another person, another number.
I think on my take on that is, like, we're in, like, the position that this country, like, we're not forced to unless there's a draft, which hasn't happened in a really long time. But because there's so many people that are willing to volunteer, we're not forced to volunteer like other countries. Yeah. So, like, I think we're blessed in that sense. But if we get to the point that everybody thinks the same, they're like, no, I don't want you to go, then eventually they're going to have to force you to go, because they need it. We're the biggest military force in the world. So, like, I think that's, like, the beauty of the freedom, because, like, there's so many people are willing to go that we can choose not to go if we don't have to.
Yeah, I think we need to do better at taking care of our veterans, you know, whether it's mental health, whether it's housing. I have a lot of respect for the people that have served, whether they've gone overseas or whether they haven't. You know, I mean, it's my brother-in-law that's out, you know, and he's a part of the National Guard, right? And they sound the alarms when it's time to run to the bunkers, right? You know, like in Blackfoot, we have a noon bell. It's like from the fire department, and it just sounds like an alarm, right? So, like, that's going to sound different for him for the rest of his life. You know what I mean?
Sorry, I thought you were going to say that Blackfoot has a bunker. I was like,
no,
what
they have a noon bell that rings every day at noon, you know, but just kind of little things like that you take
So it's
for
like
granted.
when he comes back and he hears that just on a random Tuesday,
yeah, I'm sure
it'll trigger him or something.
Yeah, I had a friend that I was golfing with that, and he was having some drinks, but as we were kind of going in the cart, he dove off the cart and started crawling. He kind of felt like one of the carts that was coming maybe sounded like a tank or just something, you know. So I mean, some of these people, like that guy that went to the Home Smart thing, that he didn't have any arms or any arms or legs. You know, I have good friends that have either had to kill people in war, and that affects you, or else had really good friends die next to them, or have committed suicide since they've come back. So it's difficult. You know, I think if my kids ever wanted to serve, just like if they, you know, whatever it is that they chose, I would try to do my best to understand and support. But it is like there's a lot of different people that are serving right now, and that are being underserved by our country after they come back. So it's difficult. It is. It's a crazy time. Like ideally. The whole Israel thing and Iran, it's hard because if you try to look at it in a neutral way, you see the wrong on both sides. But you can't really look at it that way without upsetting people, because I don't think Israel is fully innocent either. I think they're also killing innocent people in other countries as well, but I don't know, it's hard, and even with the protests up there and the immigration, that's difficult because that's something that I hope gets fixed over the next few years, because the same debates have been happening since the 1980s and nothing's been fixed. It's always border security. I will say the one thing with Trump that he's doing what he said he would, whether it's right or wrong. I don't love that they're going into like factories and they're detaining people that
When you say
might not
he's
be.
doing what he said he would, what do you mean? What did he say?
One of the biggest things that he said he was going to do was secure the border, and then he was going to do mass deportations. That was one of the things that he, said he was going to do. I think it was a comedian, Ralph, that Ralphie guy, Barbosa, that talked about damn, I thought he was going to I didn't think he was going to start right away. You know what I mean? So, because it's only been, January, 6 months.
So that was looking into numbers. I guess it was, and I don't know where they pulled it from, but it was 51,000 detainees to date.
Yeah.
From last year to this year.
Yeah. 50.
Which I guess the record for the last probably 10 years is Obama's 2013, more than 10 years, at 400 and some thousand in 1 year.
1 year.
Yeah. So the only difference, and I asked, what's the difference between that year of Obama administration and the administration we're in now? Is the only difference is now it's more like anybody that entered illegally, and for Obama's was mainly focused on people that have committed crimes.
Yeah.
So, and then because I was curious, I was like, I wonder how the whole who controls ICE, and I guess ICE is control whoever runs ICE reports to Homeland Security. And is appointed by either the president, but has to be approved by the Senate in order to be there. But ultimately, they report to the Homeland Security, because I was like, why do they carry assault rifles and stuff? And they've increased tactical use to de-escalate situations. Which, I mean, you look at the news, and again, it's the news. They're going to show the worst of the worst. Yeah, that's what they do. They're tactical force, and they're federal agents. So they have more authority than police.
Yeah.
And
well, the news is always going to do that too. Dancing and peaceful stuff isn't going to get you views. It's going to be the crazy shit that happens. It's time that we actually figure it out and fix it, though. I think as Americans, and I think even the U.S. government, they need to understand that we've enabled this too. You know what I mean? Whether it's Democrats or Republicans, there's been Democrats that have been in the majority. There's been Democratic presidents. There's been Republicans that have been in the majority, Republican presidents over the last 25 years, and nothing has been over the last 45 years, 50 years.
Well, no, there was the Reform Act, and that's how most of our parents were able to get their citizenships or residency, and that happened during the Reagan years.
Yeah.
Right. But since then, nothing.
Yeah, we need
and so I think when people say, "Oh, people need to come in the right way," there isn't one. There isn't one, and the system, like you've said in the past, it's flawed. It's not working.
Yeah.
And so that's why people are coming the way that they're coming, and just simply by putting up a wall or whatever, that's not gonna stop someone from coming and getting a better life for themselves and their family. Our families did it, and at the time, they were just here at the right time in history to be able to do so.
Well, what about the Dreamers Act though, that allowed people to stay here?
Yeah, but even them, they're not safe.
Right, but that's a pathway to Like I know,
But
I know
it's a
people,
pathway to what? Like they were told it was going to be a pathway to residency or citizenship or lo que sea, but there isn't one. Like they haven't done anything with it.
Well, I
Because
know
that
people
came out.
that have had gone through have the Dreamers Act and right now have residency because
Yeah.
of the Dreamers Act. So that's what I'm saying. Like that is an immigration reform because
But
was
I don't think as
Obama-
like in this time and place right now, I don't think they're giving them residency right now.
So right
anymore.
now, what I understand
When it first
is-
came out, I believe so. Yes.
I forgot what they called it, but it's like if you're trying to apply, you have to stay in your country of origin, which with the Dreamers Act, I believe you could work and you could get a social and stay here. And then when it was your time, you would have to go to your, like at least in Mexico, you'd have to go to Juarez and do your stuff. But you got your pardon letter. But now you have to wait outside of the country in order, which is new. Yeah. But I mean, it's still like it was the Dreamers Act. I feel is a huge. That was through a Democratic.
I think we've
president.
overcomplicated it because, like, and this might not be a popular opinion, but the reality is what we need to do to just make this more efficient and quicker is the people that are already here legally that haven't committed crimes, we just need to expedite their legality so they can get a social, so they can pay into the system. Because there's people complaining like, oh, we pay all this money for illegal immigrants and look at our veterans or look at all these things that we're not doing. Like for me at this point, I think as a country, if we actually want to fix this, we have to say we're partly responsible for this because they're going into American businesses. And I don't remember if it was in Oklahoma or where it was, but they arrested like 40 or 7 people that were working in an American company, right, in America. So there's a supply and demand thing. As long as there's demand for cheap labor or immigrant labor.
Well, isn't that why I think it was this same week or something like that Trump decided, not to raid farms and factories and things like that because that would hurt.
Yeah.
And like the owners are seeing like, hey, yo, hold up a second. Like most of all these laborers are good people, are good workers. Yeah. And if you just take them away, like what's going to happen?
Yeah. We need to find I think without politicizing it too much, like we've been enabling this problem for a long time and American companies and American businesses have benefited from illegal immigrants themselves. So I do agree, like anyone that's a criminal, like send them back.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Anyone that is hardworking, and I'll give a perfect example because sometimes I feel like red states get a bad rap. You know what I mean? But I have a really good friend, and I won't mention the town, I won't mention the person or anything like that, but he doesn't drink. He works hard. He's got 2 kids here and a family. He volunteers a lot of his time to work with children, right? He's not here legally, and he got pulled over because his taillight was out. Well, I didn't know he was here illegally. I didn't know he didn't have a license. I get a phone call from him telling me he got pulled over. If the cop won't let him go, right, won't let him drive, I get there and the cop's like, hey man, his license, I can't, he doesn't have one. I can't just let him drive. Are you okay to drive him home? You know what I mean? And I'm like, yeah. So I was able to get him home. And I look at just that situation in general. And one, like, God bless the police officer for being a compassionate human. We have those people, in a red state, right? But then it, really hit me like, man, like, and he was nervous and shaking because he's like, that was kind of my first run-in with the law enforcement.
Yeah.
And it's one of those things where it's like, there's people that are, and that's why for me, like, it's no way to live. And again, it goes both ways, right? Like they came here illegally, so they're risking that, right? Like driving without a license, if you're speeding or you lose a taillight, that's a risk you're taking.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Fortunately, it went well. But it's just like, damn, like for someone like that I look at him and I'm like, man, that's a better man than me, right? Like he's just trying to do things right, do things for his family. We need to find a better pathway for him. Yeah, he didn't come here legally, you know what I mean? But he's already here and the system is benefiting from him because he's working and he's being a good citizen, right? So I'm a believer that like the people that are like, one, yeah, secure the borders, whether it's with because not all the things that are going on the border are a good thing. There's people that are risking their lives. There's a lot of drugs and stuff throughout the borders, both sides, Canada and America. So secure those, but also like the ones that we have here, like if we can legalize them all and benefit from them being, legal, working, we can get taxes from them. That
But
might
we
help
already
with
do.
not all of them.
Not all of them, but the majority already do pay taxes.
Yeah.
And it's because you can get an I-10 and pay taxes.
Yeah.
And a lot of people they are paying taxes.
Yeah.
A lot of these people, and we see it, and I can speak for myself, like when I get a call from somebody that wants to purchase a home, I now feel like, ever since I became an agent, I learned very quickly that I have to ask.
Yeah.
It's like I have to ask, like, oh, do you have a social or do you have an I-10? Like that way too, that I know how to better help them and give them lender options that are going to fit their needs, because not every lender does I-10 loans. And a lot of people didn't know that is a thing, that you can buy property with an I-10 number. And you look at an I-10 number and you think that's a social, because that happened to me on the selling side.
Yeah.
Because on the selling side, you wouldn't think to ask your seller, hey, do you have an I-10 or do you have a social, right? Because they're selling. So what happened to me in this situation was, if someone doesn't have a social and they have an I-10 when they purchase the home, when they go to sell it, if it's above, I believe, 300,000, automatically now you have to get an accountant involved, because now there's like I can't remember if it was like 10 or 15% tax that now needs to be paid, because it's a foreign tax or something like that. And the higher the purchase price or the sales price, the more taxes you will have to pay, just because you don't have a social, because you used an I-10. And that happened because we get to the closing table, and so the title person is like, oh, can I get your ID? And da-da-da. And so she gives her the ID she had, and then she's like, wait. And then she looks at the social, at the number she thought was a social. She's like, this is an I-10.
Yeah.
And that's where like stuff was like, oh crap, what do we do?
Yeah.
But they do. They pay taxes.
Yeah.
And a lot of, I think I saw a post that said something like, immigrants in the States have paid more taxes combined than Amazon, like all these tech companies combined. Because all the rich people are always looking for a loophole as to not paying taxes.
Yeah.
But our people are paying it, and they're not getting a benefit from it.
Yeah.
And I think, and this is just me, conspiracy, whatever. But yo pienso que the United States por eso no les ha arreglado, because if I give you citizenship or residency, now you also will be taking part of this pie. Does that make sense? But right now, me conviene más a mí que tú seas ilegal y que sigas pagando.
I think I kind of think the same, but like I think the picture's bigger, because like growing up, my dad always telling me, he's like, esos trabajos del field, déjalos para alguien que no sabe inglés, no sabe. And imagine you give everybody citizenship. You're telling me that someone that now has the possibility to work anywhere is going to want to continue to work at a very low paying job. Then who's going to work? Like, it sounds really,
that's what I'm
really
saying.
fucked
Like
up.
they're just, what's the word? Kind of like pigeonholing them to just being a laborer, to being at the bottom of the barrel, to doing all the hard work, and the U.S. is reaping all the benefits from it.
Yeah, I think they may be messed up, but like if you just like look at history, Like, for example, when Cesar Chavez, they were just looking for better rights for farm workers, and how much that affected the rich. Like, now imagine the whole country. I don't really think people are really looking for a solution because there's more benefit to the rich.
To the rich, yeah.
And I think one thing we kind of forget is, like, as a country, our deficit is, it's horrible, right? And I think we need to find, like, the gold card or whatever that he was selling for the Trump, you get citizenship if you pay a certain amount, but you're bringing a business to the United States. They had sold several of those. Like, I think there needs to be a better, more efficient pathway to get people on the other side, because there's the people that are creating the businesses, and then there are those that are working in those businesses. Wage pressure to keep wages lower, that affects inflation within the economy. So immigration is a positive thing because it does help, provide lower wages. And I think undocumented workers are working at an even lower wage than what those who are moving here, legally and, getting work visas or whatever it is. But it's a complex situation. And I think the compassionate side, which sometimes I feel like with politics, compassion goes out the window, just because I don't think people are thinking about, like, they lack the empathy, especially with, like, social media and stuff, with the stuff that's going on, and each news media is going to pull at certain strings to get certain reactions out of you, whether it's fear, whether it's anger. Like, I'm not letting the right side off the hook, because they're making it seem like look at what they're doing. They're throwing out a foreign country's flag in our country. They're not patriots. Go back to the country if you're here in America. But also on the left side, they're scaring the shit out of people. They're making it seem like everything is bad. And the example that I use for my friend is, as scared as he was, like, that to me is an example of, like, every case is individual and not everyone is bad, because, again, you get pulled over driving without a license in the state of Idaho in a country town, like, right off the bat, you're like, he's going to jail, or he's doing like that, So, like, there's still good people out there. And I think, to me, whether they're illegal immigrants, whether they're Republicans, whether they're Democrats, I'd like to think that the majority of the people have good intentions and they want solutions. But I think it's also important to understand, and from my opinion, it's like, as a country and as a government, we've enabled things to get to where they're at, and we need a solution that's quick, that's easy, that does legalize the people that are already here, that are not criminals, that are being great citizens, right? Because most people that are here legally, they don't want to drive around without a taillight. They don't want to speed, because they know that.
Because they're scared. Because you don't know. Although we know that there are good people anywhere and everywhere, you don't know cuál te va a tocar.
Yeah.
Because what if this cop, what if it was a different cop that pulled him over? What if it was one that's a little bit more right-winged and feels some type of way?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, it could have gone completely different for him. He could have called you and said, yo, I'm detained.
Yeah.
Or something like that, So I think their fear is valid.
Yeah, it's a valid fear, and it's a risk. Like, if we drive with a suspended license or an expired license, like,
a lot of the times people say, like, their tags are expired. You don't even realize, you forget, oh shit, and it's kind of like, oh, whatever to us, because we are privileged, like, because it's like, oh, if we get pulled over, like, maybe we get a warning, or maybe it's just a simple ticket, whatever. But to us, it's like, oh, whatever.
Yeah.
But to someone that doesn't have documentation, like, that could mean the end of their life here.
Yeah. And I got pulled over that same night on my way back because I didn't have my lights on.
Dang.
You know what I mean?
How you not have your lights on?
I have no idea.
Hold up. Was this on your new Mamalona?
My truck? No, it was my other one.
Oh.
No, even worse.
Yeah. So, like, it was my, but I was able to go home and sleep well that night. you know, because it meant nothing.
Like it was like nothing
but
to you. Yeah.
it still scares him today. You know what I mean? I think the next day he was working on his taillight. Like it was just
Oh
like
yeah.
one of those things. So it is like, it's one of those things where you got to have perspective. You also got to be thankful that like there's still the majority of the people that are good. The majority of those protests, they weren't all bad, but the focus on it was the bad on both sides, right?
Yeah.
Like, oh, look at this guy getting arrested and manhandled by ICE. Look at all these Mexicans burning cop cars and throwing stuff. But if you look at the truth, which is somewhere in between, for the most part, I think the intention was good. You know what I mean? Because it is like the culture it's a beautiful culture, but it is like immigration is something that to me is more of a political tool to divide and get votes than it is for something that we want a real solution for, because like how have we not solved this shit? And
For reals.
yeah, put me in there for 5 months and I'll have it fixed.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, I'm telling
you.
Boise
made national. I mean, Idaho made national news. Boise broke any record of like, I don't know if they named it as a protest, but as a gathering of people ever.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, the only casualty was in Salt Lake.
Yeah, that was
caused
bad.
by a security that hit a very well-known fashion guy, and they still don't know what the like if the intentions of the person that was holding the rifle, like was he just there because he has a Hispanic last name, so they don't know what his intentions were. Yeah, but the guy that shot was one of the security for the protests and missed and hit someone. Yeah, well, he hit the kid with the rifle, but he also killed someone. Yeah, which is sad.
Where was the one where there was a baby that passed?
Wasn't that Utah?
I don't know, because the person that passed away.
It was like a casualty. Like there were some shots fired and le dieron un baby de 8 meses.
Well, the one in Salt Lake, what I read was there's the person that shot was a security that hit and killed the one guy, the bystander, and he also shot the guy with the rifle. But they don't know. At least what I've read, they don't know what the intentions of the guy with the rifle were yet.
Mm-hmm.
I wish people just let people protest, even if you disagree, because it gets very confrontational.
That's where it gets dangerous. It's the people that don't agree with the people's right to protest, and because they feel some type of way, like that's where like the problems start. Like, I mean, there's some wild ass videos on online everywhere, you know. I saw one where it was like there was a protest going on and some person you couldn't even see, but they were driving a black SUV and they just ran through, like, and they ran over like 1 or 2 people, and you see it, and I'm like, what the hell? Like, what has to go through somebody's mind to do all that, or to impersonate a security guard or something like that? Because I think that was another one.
Fake ICE people.
Yeah, like, come on, man. Like,
I will say, like, I see a lot of videos of people blocking roads, and it's just like, stop that shit. Yeah, like, you're blocking the people you're protesting for too. You know what I mean? Like, so I don't know. What's nice is I know there's been some confrontations in like the Idaho Falls area for different protests, but as of now, there hasn't been any like violent outbursts that I've read about.
So there was the No Kings one on, was that Saturday, right? And then I think like Los Trompistas try to have their own or whatever, and they had like a handful of people. Yeah, you know, like I think it was like before the No Kings one, and because they're trying to make a statement too, whatever, but they didn't have the turnout that they thought they were gonna have, I guess. But the No Kings one, like a ton of people showed up. Yeah, it was crazy. I was out doing showings and I was like, damn it, I wish I would have like passed through there at least or something. Yeah. Wow.
I expect everybody that was protesting to be at the ballots. It's damn sure not a lot of people are gonna be doing that.
Yeah.
And especially the local ones, man. Like the national ones, like you're gonna make more of an impact locally, but like show up on the days where it's not national, because that's where you change policy. And really, like I think about Kate Moss, right? One of our agents, she wants to run for something. Yeah, that's the shit we should be doing.
Come on, Kate.
Like if you wanna change things, like run for something, like make an effort on a local level and work your way But it's everyone affects things differently. But I just hope that people are out there trying to make a difference in the ways that it can make a difference, you know. But I think for me, like whether it was the Trumpists, whether it was the No Kings, whatever, as long as it's peaceful, no one's committing crimes, and I just hope that, and when you look at it in general, like how many people voted for Trump that weren't at the Trump thing, you know what I mean? How many people that voted for Kamala weren't at the No Kings thing, you know? But at the end of the day, the ability for everyone to protest and express and it's happening more now, and that's maybe a positive of today's political, you know, environment, is you're starting to see more people engaging and involving in First Amendment rights that people have died and fought for, you know. Even though I do think our forefathers, and again, we're all Americans here. I'm an American, you're an American, you're an American. Our forefathers, Mexican American, our forefathers today, if they saw the state of how we're taxed, the state of how things are run, I think they would be disappointed that we allowed things to get this way. Maybe they'd be disappointed too that you got a lot of colored people running around too. But the heart of
Barack Obama,
the heart of why, you know, as Americans we left the British was because we were, you know, being taxed without representation, but the taxes were getting ridiculous. And if you look at how things are now, it's ridiculous. So is our spending. That new bill that's coming out. That's
Well, what? You're not in support of that big dumbass bill?
I think the big beautiful bill. Yeah. Well, and I think that's the thing that's important. Like as you vote, when you vote for president or you vote for whatever, not everything that happens over the next 4 years is going to be exactly what they said, exactly how you wanted it to be. But at the end of the day, and I think we've said this in previous podcasts, it don't matter who the president is. Like we got to take care of ourselves and our own, regardless of who. But yeah, you know, the whole federal land stuff, that's kind of going to be a big issue here in the state of Idaho. But also like, that's
Si
a lot
por si no tenemos nada que hacer.
Yeah.
Shit. Right? It's like, oh, like now you're going to take our only recreational areas that we can go and enjoy, you know? Like, that's wild.
Catch me building my cat. I'm just kidding. No,
I'm taking an acre over here. Yeah, it's different, but also like I think 60% of Idaho is federally owned.
Yeah.
Like I will hope. I don't know what it's gonna look like. I don't know what's gonna happen. But
what the fuck, little?
Yeah.
I mean, even like I drive over here now, just like pretty much like once a week, you know, and all these buildings, I'm like, what the fuck, dude? Like all the apartments over here, you know, when you enter from Sunnyside, I'm like, holy shit. And then over here on this side too, right by the freeway, I'm like, holy shit. And they're like fucking everywhere. Like, what is happening?
That we're preparing for growth. You know, it's not just immediate growth. It's going to be over the next 5-10 years. Like they think over the next 15-20 years, Southeast Idaho is going to have over 1 million people.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
It's interesting.
¿Pa dónde nos vamos?
Blackfoot, baby.
Damn. Now, you know what? I actually, now that you bring up Blackfoot.
They could spend the next 50 years fixing the roads there, and you're never going to fix them.
Hey.
That's Pocatello. We went to, and some of my girlfriends, we went to a restaurant in Blackfoot. I don't want to name it because I don't want to be like, I'll tell you guys after, but I was like.
Mexican restaurant?
Yeah. I was like, what kind of shit is this?
Oh, Mexican restaurant?
Yeah.
Is it I just can't imagine. I don't know.
Is it on the one way or is it by Walmart?
Is that gonna like? No. I mean, Blackfoot's not that big. You'll know.
Yeah, but hey, sometimes you gotta put it out there. You know?
It's by Walmart.
Okay.
No, that's my favorite.
I think I know which one.
No, that place looks fucking ratchet as fuck.
We went in there, whatever, and we're like, all right, you know, like we want some margs, we want some chips and salsa, whatever, right? The margs were muy apenas le echaron, you know? And then the chips, I decía like, oh, you only get like two.
3 chips per person.
And then after that, you got to pay. And I was like, oh, what the fuck, you know?
Yeah.
And then I ordered flautas, which, okay, what are flautas to you?
I'll be 100% honest. And I'm probably gonna get this wrong. Are those like little crispy cinnamon things with the whipped cream?
Wrong.
Yeah. See, so I'm just gonna say
What
no,
are
no
flautas
sabo,
to you?
no
Just
sabo.
like fried. Well, we have chicken flautas is the one, but it's just like shredded chicken in a tortilla and like rolled and fried.
Right. So that's what a flauta is to me, but it also goes by the name of a taquito. Right?
Yeah.
It's the same thing to me, right?
I was way wrong.
You were fucking
Yeah.
describing a
This fool-
churro.
Yeah.
No, it wasn't a churro. The little chip things. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, they give you at the end.
Yeah. What are those called?
Oh, okay, okay.
I can't
The
remember
dessert,
what they're
yeah.
called,
Yeah.
but
No.
that's not it.
Flautas.
My bad, y'all. No sabo.
But so I ordered the chicken flautas, right? Tell me why they gave me a fucking chimichanga just cut up. So it was like little pieces, así, like that. And I was like, what the fuck is this?
Flautas are not with flour tortillas.
No.
Fuck.
You gotta go to El Mirador, Vasquez, or El Vaquero.
Yeah, that's usually, I think, is where like my parents usually go, but on the one way, right? The one way street or
Yeah.
whatever. There used to,
You just-
wasn't there a barbecue place right there antes? Or am I tripping?
I think you're. Where you were at just barely?
No. The one way street one.
No, I think
Has
that's
it
been there
always
for
been?
a long time.
And
yeah.
the one that's on the one way, they also have an outdoor seating. No?
No, not the one that. Vasquez. Okay.
Vasquez does.
Yeah.
Okay,
Okay, that's what you're
that's the
talking
one-
about. Yeah,
that's
that's the
the
one that had a
one-
barbecue place before. It used to be.
Yeah.
What's the one down here in the parking lot? That's close to here. They have the burgers. Not Mackenzie River, but it's on the other side, on the east side of this parking lot. I can't think of the name.
Smoking fins?
No, it's just here in our parking lot where our office is.
In our parking lot?
Yeah, what's that restaurant? What are the three closest restaurants?
You're
that
thinking
serve
of
steak?
Stockman's?
Stockman's. It used to be
They have
Stockman.
they had a Stockman's out there?
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
So that's where that place is
Oh.
now. And I love their food. Their food's pretty good there.
Yeah.
But Mirador to me is always like my go-to.
Which one is
there.
that one?
That's the one on the other one way, going the opposite way.
Mirador.
Yeah. Well, yeah, that other one,
Yeah.
nah.
Last time I went there, we ordered nachos and like there was like a piece of plastic.
Oh, hell.
I feel like restaurants should be held on like
Not just that, but like the fucking menu is long as hell. Like,
Yeah.
I feel like when their menu is so big, it's like expect.
I mean Jalisco's is
have
massive.
low expectations. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Yeah.
I think Jalisco's is like a good standard, like a good like
Yeah.
compared to
Yeah,
because
it
like
stays consistent.
it's not like I want to say it's not the best,
Yeah.
but it's not bad. Like
Yeah.
you know what you're gonna get when you're at
Yes.
Jalisco's.
Uh-huh.
But I really think like restaurants should be called out on their shit because like there's some restaurants that you're like, bro, what the fuck? Like your
Mm-hmm.
Indian place that almost killed you.
Yeah.
Like they're like definitely like
But I mean, they close, so
Yeah.
at least there's that.
they should have closed a day earlier.
Yeah, they should have been closed before I went.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I know which one you're talking about, and yeah, I agree. That's not one of the ones I would frequent, and I wouldn't go there.
Yeah.
Yeah, we've been there.
Oh,
we try, but every time we go there, it's not. Because I'm a meat snob, dude. Like,
Yeah.
if I'm getting a taco, I'm gonna open it up, and
Yeah.
I'm gonna be like, no, I gotta take this shit out. And if I have to spend more time
Taking
taking
out
out
the
than I
fat.
need to, yeah, it's not gonna work.
Well, like one of my friends ordered the birria tacos with the consomme on the side or whatever. And
Yeah.
she's like, it was good, but like we're used to birria tacos. They bring them to you y adentro tienen like cilantro y cebolla or whatever. These were
Yeah.
just plain or whatever. But she's like, but overall they were fine. And then two of our other friends, they ordered enchiladas suizas, which I won't even ask
I don't
you.
even want to know what the fuck that is. Like I know what an enchilada is, but
You
Suiza.
never heard enchiladas suizas? They're just green enchiladas.
Oh.
So it's like a tomatillo sauce, pero es cremoso. Like it also has
okay,
like
okay,
crema,
okay.
right?
Suiza, what does Suiza mean?
Swiss, but I don't know how I came
I don't know why
to
they call it Suiza.
Yeah.
But I mean, I would just call it like
Yeah.
enchiladas con crema.
Yeah,
Yeah.
better
Like,
than
I
something
would-
like
But these would be green, por eso. I don't know. Pero así
That's
se
fucking
llaman,
weird.
right? And so they order them, and like the one, she ate most of it. The other one, she took maybe like 3 bites, and then she stopped eating, but she had also ordered like some tacos because she wanted to try them. So she ate 2 of the 3 tacos she ordered, and she left the enchiladas. And I said, "What happened? You don't like them?" She was like, "Nah." And they were just, era nomás salsa the tomatillo, just green. It wasn't even creamy. Like they put a little bit of sour cream on top, like just to top off the enchiladas. But I was like, those are not enchiladas, Lisa. She's like, nah, dude. And like I left the restaurant like kind of feeling like bloated, you know. I was just like, and then her too, she's like, I don't feel good, and she had leftovers. She's like, throw that shit away. I ain't taking that home, you know.
If you want quesabirria, you gotta go Taco H.
Yeah.
Or we have Vasquez has really good ones with the they have a crunchy tortilla, and then El Mirador just started doing quesabirria too. That's what I had yesterday actually. And it's pretty solid.
That sounds fire. Tacos sound fire right now.
Oh yeah, the tacos were soft. The ones that like my friend got the birria ones.
Yeah.
They were not
crispy.
Yeah.
Damn.
So it's like overall.
We have to go and get some trumpets and see what we buy today.
Chompas are good, man.
The trumpets were good.
Yeah.
I was telling you we went to trumpets and the torta didn't have frijoles, which I found weird. Right? See, like he didn't get me at the moment.
Well, it depends on like.
I was like, a torta? What?
Frijoles
in a torta? What the hell?
It's the natural. It's the Earth's caviar.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I don't mind if it doesn't, but if it doesn't have frijoles, like, and no tenía queso fresco, like, I was like, huh? It was just basically meat, tomato, lettuce, and the bread. And
But it was like, what kind of meat did you get?
Asada.
Oh yeah, I need some.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, it wasn't bad. I'm not saying it was
Yeah.
bad, but it was weird that it didn't have beans.
Like for me, I wouldn't want beans if I want a torta de jamón. That's
Yeah.
different. But I do want like a crema on
Yeah.
it or something. You know what I mean? But if it's like si agarro una torta de asada or de carnitas, something like that, then yeah, you need your beans.
Yeah,
dude.
that's why I was so shocked. But I was telling him, but he didn't understand what I'm saying.
Es
Yeah.
que
He didn't
este
get
no
the vibe.
sabe.
He didn't no entendió la fucking vibra.
Yeah. I was like, what else did I say? That day led to me buying my damn truck.
Oh, so last episode, I was gonna beep out all the parts with the truck, and then like 3/4 in, I was like, I gave up. I was like, they fucking understand that he bought a truck because I couldn't remember if he had said anything or not.
Yeah.
And so I just started cutting out everything that said truck or like
Why?
dealership, and because it was gonna taint one of mine and Noel's ideas for a video. But then I gave up. I was like, fuck this. This is too much cutting. You're not gonna understand half of it.
Yeah.
And so yeah, but we already said.
What happened? What happened to your Tesla?
I was looking at a Tesla, a passenger van. Then we went and had some bomb ass tacos at Los Panchos, and we're driving back, and I think we just saw it in the parking lot, or I don't even remember what happened.
No, actually, it was like, you down to go look at him? Like,
I was like, sure.
yeah. And then next thing we know, we're looking at him.
No, next thing you know, he bought one.
No,
The next day.
yeah. I didn't think he was serious.
You said, okay, so you guys went to go look at it, and then you were like, oh, let's check out Chevy tomorrow, and let's do kind of another video.
Yeah. I thought
And
he
you
was
were
gonna
like,
take me.
yeah. And then you call him the next day, and then you're like, oh, I bought it.
Well,
Yeah.
I met him here.
Yeah.
And I saw the black truck, and then like I didn't think twice because there's another black truck.
Yeah.
And then I like stared at it close after I got off. I was like, holy fuck, this has the plates. And so I went in, and we were supposed to film, but he's like, I bought the truck. I was like, bro, I thought we were gonna go to Chevy today.
Yeah, I did go to Chevy, in all fairness, and I drove it, but it was different, man. And like that truck had, it's not what I would have, like, what's the best way to say it? Like, it was just, I don't know.
I thought it was gonna be a moment. I think we're gonna have something like a moment where he's like, we're gonna go. I wanted to sit in them and like check them out, and then he didn't take me.
Just driving it, man, was just like, and it's my first diesel pickup.
Wait, so did you trade in your truck?
I did, yeah.
They give you like a good amount or
Yeah.
decent enough?
Happy enough for me to just do it.
Make the decision?
Yeah. And then I was looking at a Tesla Model X, and it was gonna be like $60K or something, and then finally I was like, you know what, like. And honestly, it reminds me of when I bought my trailer. Like, I walked away, like, I was looking for something sensible, something small, and then I walk away with, like, a 34-foot trailer. This time, I was kind of thinking the same thing. Like, maybe I'll get a car or something I'll keep my truck forever. And then I walk out with, like, F-350 long box truck that's just like bigger than what I probably
Need.
will ever need. But now it's like,
nice. It's really, really nice.
yeah, it drives smooth. We took the trailer out last weekend. We're going to take it out again this weekend. Now I just feel better taking it out because I used to pull that trailer with a half ton.
Mm-hmm.
So now it's like
Easy.
Easy. Don't even feel it. Like I feel very mobile with it. And then I've been taking it to Logan, taking my son to his practices. So it drives smoother than my other truck, and it's not as loud. So I can now I'm just like, and I love and I've never been a Ford guy. I love the interior better than what GM had. It just looks, I like it, man. Now I wash it every day. I'm back.
It's clean.
I do. I like vacuum it. I'm just
A ver
like,
cuánto le dura.
yeah, but I think
It's usually like the first year, and then they go.
Oh.
yeah. So I want to have it I'm gonna go put the cover on it today in Pocatello. So
I would say, like, honestly, like, have it for a couple years and go to the next one, because I feel like what happened with your white one.
But you bought it though. You didn't lease it.
yeah, I bought it.
Because they hold their value really well compared to like Chevy.
Trucks, yeah.
And so like I would try to swap out of it, because you're the person that's gonna you're gonna have a 2020 something truck in 2020 something with 200,000 miles, and then the truck's worth nothing.
I want to put 300,000 miles on it, man.
That's
my
hard
goal.
because like
Your white. How many miles does the white one have?
I had like 118.
Oh, okay.
It's because like diesels are more like how to explain it? They're just super expensive to maintain.
Yeah.
Like you have to go to the diesel filters, and you might like the pumps might fail, so you might have to swap like a fast pump, and then your DEF system will start causing you problems. Then you have your injectors that could go out, especially like at the 200,000. So like diesels are very like fidgety, like and so like that's why like you, especially someone like you that's going to use it a lot, I would definitely try to get out of it. Every 3 years or something, because at the end of the day they're going to hold their value, and then why not have something without problems? Because I don't see you wrenching the injectors in there.
No, I can pay people for it.
Yeah, but I'm saying, but then you don't have a truck. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like maybe avoid those headaches.
Yeah.
Because diesels are very.
I do think that. If you would have got the Tesla X, would you have kept your white truck?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Because I was like, if you would have traded in, then you would have
Imagine
been like, I
pulling
need
the
a truck.
trailer with the Tesla.
Yeah. No, I don't know. I felt pumped though, because I did kind of feel like I needed to do something for myself, and I was like, I'll just do this. And it is like it had the all black package. That's the thing that I told, because maybe I could have bought a newer one. You know what I mean? I think the Chevy was newer. But
Wait, what year is this one?
2024.
Oh, I mean, it's still new.
I was looking at a 2025 Ford, but like none of them had, like this one had like the upgraded interior speaker system, like the.
So this was the highest package he could buy.
Yeah.
Because he has to have a bench seat. That's what limits him.
Yeah.
But it's a nice truck.
I had the blacked out package. I was like, damn. I went
How
from
many
white
miles
to
did it have?
9,000.
Oh, that's not bad, dude. That's like good.
So for me, it was like.
Ni la usaron.
Yeah.
And they did everything to it already.
Yeah.
Like
Wheels.
So like the windows are all tinted and all of that.
Yeah. And then I got a fucking chip on the windshield on my way home. The first time I bought it, I was like, damn. But yeah, did it, but it's got the
But then
shifting.
you have a cousin that fixes those.
Yeah. So
Dang.
It is nice because like you drive mine, and it's like a fucking like. I'm not gonna bash on it, but like it's like I've always been I love Fords because my dad has a new
So
one.
why'd you go Dodge? Why'd
Because
you
it's
go
the
Ram?
cheapest truck I could afford. Like the difference between
Cheapest.
his,
It was not cheap.
well, compared to like like buying a new truck in Ford, that's $25,000 difference.
More.
And for I would say the same trim package, because I also have the bench seat, but mine has like the leather and like the bells and whistles. But like if I had the 25,000, I would pull the trigger in a heartbeat. But the payment for $25,000 more is huge. But yeah.
I'm gonna
it's
build
beautiful.
a couple homes, get it paid off, and then just be out there like a rock, or what's that Ford commercial? But I've noticed none of the damn country songs I listen to, they all talk about Chevys. So I gotta figure something out there.
And then the other day, I told him like I'd rather be coming than stroking. And then he didn't
What?
get it. Oh, because mine has a Cummins and he has a power stroke.
That's what I'm saying, right?
There's a whole bunch
As he was
I'm sorry,
stroking
what?
me, as he was power stroking me, he said that. I was like, what?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's a truck guy thing. People don't
Apparently.
like Fords. But I love Fords, but I don't have one, so yeah. Maybe one day.
Trade it in.
I wish. Maybe. Yeah, your truck is my dream truck.
It's a
One day.
truck ride off. And it's your fault that I even got it. This guy. I shouldn't have even listened to him.
I know.
So.
And then I almost got Noel to go. Like I got
Nobody
him.
put a gun to your head and said, "Get this truck, fool."
Basically.
No.
I was telling him to get the brand new one. Cause I'm
Ya
like,
ves?
but at the end of the day, man, he got what he wanted. And like, that's the best feeling. Having
Yeah.
what you want.
Yeah.
But it is true. He is pushing Noel too.
Yeah.
Pero yo siento que Noel es más frugal.
Cheap. That's what it's called. No, well, his thing
He's
is like, I'm going to
frugal.
buy it this year. And I'm like, well, why the fuck wouldn't you buy it right now? Use it till the next 6 months.
Mm-hmm.
It's not like the price is going to drop 50,000 by the end of the year. It's like, I'm more like, let's go.
He's like, it's y'all's money. I'm just over here.
No, I bought my truck in literally 3 days. Like I found it on Facebook. I went to look at the next day, and then the next day I bought it. Like I'm the type of person that I'm just.
I mean, he
move.
bought his in like a day.
It's
No,
been
but
like
he had gone. He went already.
It's
though.
been like a 6-month process, and I've been driving Quincy crazy because at first it was like I'm gonna get a new truck, and then it's like I'm gonna get a passenger van and keep my truck. Then I'm gonna get a car, and we're just always looking, trying to figure it out. And then I just drove past this one or saw it there in the car lot because we looked at the new ones first, and then we saw this one, and I'm just like, damn.
It is very, very nice.
So
How old is her van?
2021.
Oh, okay. So
I want her
still
to get
fine.
like a Yukon XL or something, but she loves her minivan. So
Bro, you could get a used Escalade, like a 2022 with low miles for like 70 grand, 75.
I told her, I was like, get something that we can pull the trailer in, because then I can buy me a higher end truck. But
Because those ones have 6.2, so they have basically your other truck
Yeah.
pulling the camper. Or just buy a smaller camper.
yeah.
Tent it out.
So no, I think right now with what I have, it's a good setup, and we'll probably enjoy it. I think I'm going to try to keep that for as long as I can. But we'll see. As long as I don't have tacos with John again in the next couple of years.
Trump is.
So yeah, but we're an hour 20.
Goddamn.
So we talked a lot today. So
It wasn't too bad, John.
I just like my 20 minutes of cutting out trying to figure out my video.
your phone call, yeah, it was actually a 30-minute episode. We were just waiting for John for.
It's because
Nah.
it's hard to because on the phone I'm trying to look at the computer and my wife's like, which one do I click? And she's like looking this way and I'm like,
I can see.
Damn.
shout out to her.
Well, cool. Well, thank you guys.
Yeah.
Comment below on anything that you have an opinion on. Are we post? Do I need to do better? Are you posting on TikTok yet? Or do I need to?
TikTok.
I thought you were gonna do that 2-3 weeks ago, 4 weeks
I thought
ago.
I was. I thought I gave him the login to post.
I thought he just gave me the login, but I
Yeah.
don't know what you want.
Just
It's
to
because
give
you
you
post
the
like you
login.
put like an actual like description.
Yeah.
and I don't describe. I just fucking.
You just post.
All right, I'll start.
but I can. If
I'm like
that's-
4 episodes behind, 5 episodes probably. So I'll get that shit. I'll start posting some shit. All right. So for our TikTok fans out there.
My God.
So all right. Well, thank you guys for watching. I gotta
Thanks,
go pee real
guys.
bad.
Oh,
So y'all have a
yalla.
good day.